One, Drew recorded parts of the visit. It was at the park and posted it on TikTok, which I really don't think he's supposed to do. That's supposed to be an intimate moment. I get it. Maybe you want to record it for your own personal memory. You could show it to Deshawn when he gets older. If you wanted to record it, that should have been saved in your phone, Drew. That shouldn't have been posted to the public.
Apparently, Stephanie made a slick comment towards Desiraye about her only giving Deshawn a $25 gift card. And clearly, she's a little dumb and don't understand why Desiraye did what she did. So I'm going ahead and let you know why she did what she did, Stephanie. Okay, sweetheart, with a gift card, you can use it as proof, as evidence that you've sent something, okay? So there's a tracking number on a gift card, and there's also a receipt that she can keep, you know? So push comes to shove, when she does take King Daddy Drew back to court, guess what? She has proof showing that she has been trying to give Deshawn stuff. You know what I'm saying? Not just that he's young, so what do he need with more than $25, especially since she knows that you and Drew are going to spend the majority of that money. If not spend that money, but 9 times out of 10, you're going to take that money and make him split amongst him and his siblings. And that's bullshit, because let me tell you something, Stephanie. Everybody saw how you get what y'all did for Deshawn's birthday parties versus what y'all did for your daughter's birthday party. So everybody know that y'all don't really give a fuck about Deshawn. So let's put that out there. And I'm just telling you why she only gave him $25 instead of giving him, you know, cash. What does he need with cash, Stephanie? Why would she send cash out to you or to King Daddy Drew and when she could just give him a gift card? And like I said, y'all gonna spend that money.
Oh honey, grab your tea and settle in, because the drama surrounding Stephanie Jenkins, better known on TikTok as Resilient Jenkins, just exploded into a full-blown circus, and every single move she's making is getting messier by the minute. What started as petty shade has turned into a chaotic storm of jealousy, control, and flat-out delusion, and the internet is watching it unravel like a bad reality show. So here's the tea. Stephanie has been salty ever since the internet rallied behind Desiraye in her fight to regain custody of her son, Deshawn. Instead of focusing on her own responsibilities, her own kids, or, I don't know, cleaning up the disaster that is her personal life, Stephanie went into full sabotage mode. And baby, she's not even being slick about it. She's out here throwing tantrums, spreading wild lies, and practically begging people to turn on Desiraye, but it's all backfiring spectacularly. The drama really kicked off when Desiree's GoFundMe to raise legal fees started gaining serious traction. That's when Stephanie's inner villain was fully unlocked. Subtle digs turned into straight-up shade. She couldn't handle seeing Desiraye getting support, so she pivoted from passive-aggressive to aggressively embarrassing. Then boom, a leaked message from Stephanie's personal account hits the timeline like a grenade. In it, she mocks Desiraye for only sending a $25 gift card and says it gave her a good laugh. Girl, what? Let's break this down. The GoFundMe was never meant for grocery runs or holiday gifts. It was clearly for legal help, to hire an attorney to bring Deshawn home. And Stephanie knew that. She just chose to twist the narrative and stir up chaos instead, acting like she caught Desiraye slipping, when really, the only one slipping is her.
So apparently Stephanie made a slick comment towards Desiraye about her only giving Deshawn a $25 gift card. And clearly she's a little dumb and don't understand why Desiraye did what she did. So I'm going ahead and let you know why she did what she did, Stephanie. Okay, sweetheart, with a gift card, you can use it as proof, as evidence that you've sent something, okay? So there's a tracking number on a gift card, and there's also a receipt that she can keep, you know? So push comes to shove, when she does take King Daddy Drew back to court, guess what? She has proof showing that she has been trying to give Deshawn stuff. You know what I'm saying? Not just that he's young, so what do he need with more than $25, especially since she knows that you and Drew are going to spend the majority of that money. If not spend that money, but 9 times out of 10, you're going to take that money and make him split amongst him and his siblings. And that's bullshit, because let me tell you something, Stephanie. Everybody saw how you get what y'all did for Deshawn's birthday parties versus what y'all did for your daughter's birthday party. So everybody know that y'all don't really give a fuck about Deshawn. So let's put that out there. And I'm just telling you why she only gave him $25 instead of giving him, you know, cash. What does he need with cash, Stephanie? Why would she send cash out to you or to King Daddy Drew and when she could just give him a gift card? And like I said, y'all gonna spend that money. Like, I don't understand your logic, because you're not here. You're not here, sweetie. You're not here. I don't understand why you have so much hate towards this woman. Especially as a mother. You know, you should understand, okay, this is a mother that did she made some terrible mistakes back in her life when she was younger, and now she's trying to right her wrongs, and now she wants to be in her son's life. So fucking what, Stephanie? Don't nobody want King Daddy Drew with his deadbeat ding-ling. Nobody want that. Nobody want that. So all I'm saying is, as a woman, to another woman, get the fuck over yourself. Again, you're overstepping your boundaries. You are a girlfriend. You're not a stepmother. You're not a wife, okay? So what about that man that you got in prison that be people, and you married him even though you knew that he was a predator? Let's talk about that, since you always want to be down somebody else's throat. Since you always want to be so damn negative all the time. It's annoying at this point.
But it gets better, or worse, depending on how you look at it. This is the same Stephanie who, along with her partner Drew, violated court orders that were designed to ensure Deshawn could keep in contact with his mom. They didn't just ignore those orders, they bulldozed right through them. So now, after slamming every door in Desiree's face, she's shocked that Des didn't pour money into a black hole? Please, it's the gaslighting for me. And the entitlement? Unmatched. Stephanie's walking around like she's owed part of that fundraiser money, like she played some heroic role. Reality check, if anything, she created the need for that fundraiser. It was her own stubbornness, her constant defiance of the courts, and her relentless grip on control that pushed Desiree into a corner where legal help became the only option. But wait, the plot thickens, because even if Desiree had sent more than that $25, would it have even made it to Deshawn? Let's be real. With Stephanie and Drew running the show, that money probably would have gone straight into paying off their rumored $20,000 in debt or some other mystery expense. Deshawn's own advocates have even said that Desiree held back because there was zero trust. And honestly, who can blame her? But here's the real mic drop: while Stephanie's online dragging Desiree for sending a gift card, no one's asking how much Drew, the actual father, has contributed. Spoiler alert, nothing. No money, no toys, not even a hope you're well card. The man's been a ghost, and yet it's Desiree catching heat?
Oh, and have hatred towards the mother, but all of a sudden you like that black dingling. They don't make any sense, Stephanie. It makes no sense at all. You are putting on this fake ass persona, like I've been saying for the longest, and trying to make people believe that you actually care about that show, but nobody's buying it at all but those fake ass like that Amy girl. And you can say what you want to say about Stephanie, but at least her kids are not in the system. Girl, you better be lucky that I can say what I really want to say, because if anything, that Amy girl reminds me of you. Drug addicts. A little loose and who, like, no, your marbles ain't here, because there's no way in hell anybody in their right mind thinks or believe that what you're doing and how you're treating this baby is logical. Deshawn needs his mother. His daddy don't want nothing to do with him, and nobody told you to step up and play a role that you didn't have to play. Okay, as soon as his mother would have entered his life and been like, yo, I want to get back, close with my son. You know what I would have done if I was in your shoes, Stephanie? Okay, let's do it. Let's make this work. That's how co-parenting works. Okay, Drew, like, what we gonna do, baby? Because we're gonna make sure that Deshawn be able to have his real mother there. Like, I've really had it up to here with you now. You need some real ass friends that's gonna tell you about yourself, instead of people that keep enabling your narcissistic behaviors. You are a narcissist, and you are full of yourself, you're selfish, you're self-centered, and your ego is way too high to woo, baby, you better be lucky I'm way in Georgia. I'm way in Georgia. That don't make no sense. Bless your heart, Pookie, bless your heart.
Stephanie Jenkins has pulled yet, and trust me, that's saying something. This wasn't just a slip-up, it wasn't a misunderstanding. It was a deliberate attempt to sabotage a court-ordered moment that was supposed to be sacred, a rare chance for Desiree to be with her son, Deshawn, without interference. The court had made it very clear, this visitation was for Desiree and Deshawn only. No distractions. No interruptions. Just one-on-one time between a mother and her child, time they've been fighting for, time they've earned through endless legal back and forths. And what did Stephanie do? She threw all of that out the window. She didn't just bend the rules, she shattered them. Rather than respecting the terms of the visit, Stephanie cooked up a scheme to completely derail it. She sent Drew in late. And not got stuck in traffic late, but the kind of late that chips away at your court-ordered minutes on purpose. Every second lost wasn't an accident, it was a tactic. Every delay was calculated to shrink Desiree's time with her son, to frustrate her, to fluster her, to make the moment feel rushed and incomplete.
Hey guys, so this is just a follow-up video to the video I posted about Desiree and Deshawn's first meet, and I just want to make a few things very... Desiree was not asked if Stephanie's oldest daughters could be there. She was not told they would be there. None of that was talked about before the visit. Honestly, the communication hasn't been great, so again, as I stated in the previous video, this was again more of like a, hey, let's meet in X amount of time. Not much time was given, and so she did rush out there to see her son because it was Sunday and those were the days that were agreed upon. Obviously, we hope for better communication going forward because these need to be planned out a little bit farther in advance, and it'll just make things easier for everybody involved. Desiree is so glad that she was able to see her son. Obviously, she's just hoping for a little bit more time, a little bit more one-on-one time, so that this reunification period can just be easier and go a little bit quicker for them. And there are no stipulations to any of this. Desiree is not told that Drew has to be there or somebody has to be there with her. These are not supervised visits. There are no stipulations. Technically, if, Deshawn was okay with it, she could pick him up and take him to a movie or take him out to dinner or whatever. Again, there are no rules when it comes to this. The only thing that the judge said was for Stephanie to not post. So technically, Drew can post whatever he wants, but that doesn't mean that it was right. He didn't ask if he could film her, and it's just a thing, like, be courteous. If you want to co-parent and have a good relationship with somebody, like, that's just not what you do.
But that wasn't even the worst part. Drew didn't show up alone. Nope. Stephanie made sure he brought their daughters with him, even though those girls were never supposed to be part of the visit. This wasn't some innocent family hangout. This was sabotage in plain sight. And let's be honest here, those girls weren't there just because Stephanie thought they missed their brother. They were sent as Stephanie's eyes and ears. To listen in. To report back. To watch Desiree's every move and give Stephanie something, anything, she could twist and weaponize later. It wasn't about bonding. It wasn't about love. It was about control. And it was petty beyond belief. This wasn't just interference, it was psychological warfare, aimed straight at a mother trying to reconnect with her child. And just when you think she might reflect or show an ounce of remorse. Think again. Stephanie doesn't do accountability. What she does do is spin, and baby, she spun this hard. Right after sabotaging that precious moment, she jumps online and posts a TikTok. But not just any TikTok, a perfectly timed, cutesy little clip of her eldest daughter doing a voiceover, asking about buying lifelike baby dolls. Soft lighting. Sweet tone. Just wholesome enough to make you forget what just happened, right? Wrong. It was a complete distraction tactic. A PR cover-up wrapped in mommy aesthetic and emotional bait. She was banking on the internet scrolling past the mess and falling for the cute kid content. But the timing? Too perfect. The tone? Too polished. It wasn't a coincidence, it was damage control in real time, but the internet's not new to this. The internet's not stupid. People immediately saw through it. Comment sections lit up. Viewers called her out. The question echoed everywhere, why were your kids even present at a visitation that was clearly meant to be private? There's no soft edit or voiceover that can erase that. This wasn't a harmless mistake. It was intentional. Cold. And cruel. Stephanie used her daughters as pawns, dragging them into grown folk business, and then paraded them online to shift the spotlight. She didn't just disrespect the court's ruling, she disrespected the bond between a mother and her child. And let's not even get started on how dangerous it is to turn your kids into tools for your own control and image management. That's not parenting. That's puppeteering. So while she's busy crafting content and trying to play the loving, doting mother online, real ones see the truth. They see the manipulation, they see the sabotage. And they see a woman so obsessed with controlling the narrative that she's willing to ruin sacred moments and drag innocent children into her mess just to stay in charge. Back when Stephanie was struggling and cramped up in a tiny one-bedroom apartment, she didn't hesitate for even a moment to throw together a massive Amazon wishlist. And we're not talking about a couple of essentials, no, she went all in. Appliances, furniture, toys, beds, cleaning supplies, she basically turned that wishlist into a blueprint for an entire household. It wasn't subtle. It was a full-blown crowdsourced move-in. And the internet? They delivered. Total strangers who felt bad for her story stepped up in a big way. They bought it all. People she didn't even know made sure her kids had places to sleep, food to eat, and a home that didn't feel so empty. It was a community effort, people genuinely wanted to help. They made her space livable. Cozy. Complete. Now fast forward to today, Desiraye is fighting for her child. She's raising money for a lawyer, not furniture, not toys, but legal representation so she can be a present, active mother. And somehow, that's the line Stephanie wants to draw? That's when she suddenly finds her morals?
About this comment is her saying me and Drew work for everything we get the kids. That's great. I'm glad that social media works for you. I'm glad that gig work works for Drew. But the fact of the matter is that you sit here and you say we work for everything that we get the kids. Why don't your kids have a stable home? If you work for everything that your kids get, why don't they have a home? Why don't they have an actual home with actual bedrooms? I've been in your situation. I've lived in a motel with my kids. I did it 5 years ago for 6 months. So I understand. I get it. But you guys are refusing resources. You guys are refusing job offers. I think that's what bothers me the most about this. I don't care about your voiceovers with your kids. I don't care about wanting recommendations on a realistic doll for your daughter. What I care about is the fact that you are sitting here saying me and Drew work for everything we get the kids. It took you a year, supposedly, it took you a year to get a bubble gum or a bubble gun for your kids. Explain that to me, Stephanie. Explain it to me. And before y'all come up here hating on me, there are a lot of creators on this app that get paid to talk about these people. I'm not monetized to talk about them. I get paid from the TikTok shop. But I ain't monetized to talk about this family. I'm not monetized to talk about Stephanie or Drew. I'm simply bringing awareness to it.
The same woman who practically built her life off the generosity of strangers is now mocking another mother for asking for help, not to upgrade her life, but to fight for it? The audacity would almost be funny if it weren't so shameless. And let's not skip that super awkward moment where Drew handed their daughter a pair of boots and pretended like he went out and bought them himself. He made it a whole dad moment, the proud provider gifting his daughter something special. Except, those boots weren't from him. They were from someone else's wallet. A stranger bought them off that wish list, thinking they were doing something kind for a struggling family, not realizing they were unknowingly funding Drew's little act. That's not parenting. That's performative. And it's gross. But here's where things start to make sense. Underneath all the pettiness and shade, this entire thing boils down to one thing: insecurity. Stephanie's losing her grip, and she knows it. Because for the first time, the public isn't on her side. The internet isn't buying the narrative. They're watching, questioning, paying attention, and worse, for her, they're actually supporting Desiraye. That's what's really fueling this breakdown. Not the GoFundMe. Not the $25. Not the videos. It's the fact that people chose to back the person Stephanie has worked so hard to tear down. And deep down, that terrifies her. Desiraye's progress, the support, the donations, the love, it threatens the story Stephanie's been telling about herself for so long. The one where she's the victim. The one where everyone else is the villain. And even more than that, there's a quiet, growing fear that if Desiraye keeps rising, keeps getting her strength back, she might not just win custody. She might start gaining traction in other ways too. More stability. More influence. And, yeah, maybe even Drew's attention. Because whether Stephanie admits it or not, there's tension there. And it's not subtle. Let's be real, if Stephanie were confident in her relationship, secure in her role, and unbothered by Desiraye, this wouldn't be affecting her like this. But it is. And it's obvious. That kind of jealousy can't be hidden, it leaks into everything. The posts. The jabs. The little tantrums. It's loud. And while she's spiraling and doing everything in her power to twist the story, all she's really doing is exposing herself. Her resentment. Her need for control. Her refusal to take accountability for the mess she created. Because every bitter post, every fake smile, every smug comment, it's all backfiring, and fast. People aren't stupid. They're watching closely. They're remembering things. And no matter how many comments she deletes or stories she changes, the internet never forgets. This story's nowhere near done. In fact, if this is how she's acting now, while things are still just simmering, imagine the eruption when real consequences come knocking. And babe, when that moment comes, you'll hear it from a mile away. And that's a wrap for now, but trust, the drama's still brewing. Like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss the next twist. The meltdown? Oh babe, it's coming. Stay tuned.
Whatevs.